we all wear masks. It's a natural part of being human. We present a certain image to the world, often carefully curated to hide our flaws and insecurities. But what happens when this mask becomes a prison? When we start believing our own carefully constructed facade? This is the danger of self-deception, a subtle yet pervasive force that can warp our perceptions and poison our relationships. Self-deception is the art of lying to ourselves. It's a way of avoiding uncomfortable truths about ourselves and our actions. We convince ourselves that our motives are pure, our intentions noble, even when evidence suggests otherwise. This distortion of reality allows us to maintain a sense of self-worth and righteousness, but at a steep cost. The consequences of self-deception can be far-reaching. It erodes trust, both in ourselves and in others. It creates a gulf between our carefully constructed persona and the messy, imperfect reality of who we are, and it prevents us from experiencing the true joy and freedom that come from living an authentic life. In the following sections, we will delve deeper into the phenomenon of self-deception, exploring its manifestations, motivations, and potential consequences, particularly for those who project an image of moral superiority. By understanding the mechanics of self-deception, we can begin to dismantle the masks we wear and embrace the messy, beautiful complexity of our true selves. Have you ever encountered someone who seems to radiate an air of moral superiority? They are quick to judge, slow to forgive, and always eager to point out the flaws in others. Their words drip with righteous indignation. Their actions a carefully choreographed performance of virtue. These individuals often see themselves as morally infallible, their beliefs and actions beyond reproach. But beneath this veneer of righteousness lies a deep well of insecurity. Those who project moral superiority often do so to compensate for a fragile sense of self-worth. By elevating themselves above others, they create a sense of artificial superiority, a fragile defense against their own inner demons. Their need to be right, to be seen as the moral compass of their social circle, stems from a deep-seated fear of being wrong, of being exposed as flawed and imperfect. This fear drives them to control their image relentlessly, to silence any dissent that might threaten their carefully constructed facade. The motivations behind this behavior are complex and often unconscious. These individuals may genuinely believe in their own righteousness, blind to the hypocrisy of their actions. Or they may be acutely aware of their own shortcomings, but the fear of exposure keeps them trapped in a cycle of self-deception. Behind the carefully constructed facade of moral superiority lies a landscape of inner turmoil. The individuals trapped in this illusion are often plagued by a persistent sense of unease, a nagging feeling that something is not quite right. They may experience anxiety, depression, or a sense of emptiness, their inner world a stark contrast to the polished exterior they present to the world. Their relationships often suffer as well. Authenticity is the lifeblood of any genuine connection. And the walls these individuals erect around themselves make intimacy nearly impossible. They may have many acquaintances, but few true friends. Their interactions often characterized by superficiality and a lack of genuine emotional depth. Those closest to them may feel judged, controlled, or emotionally drained. Their attempts to connect with the person behind the mask are often met with defensiveness, anger, or denial. This can lead to a painful cycle of resentment and frustration, eroding the foundation of even the strongest relationships. The internal conflicts these individuals face are often deeply rooted, stemming from early childhood experiences, societal pressures, or unresolved trauma. Breaking free from this cycle requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront the pain that lies beneath the surface. The journey toward authenticity begins with self-compassion. We must learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would offer a dear friend. This means acknowledging our imperfections, our mistakes, and our vulnerabilities without judgment. It also requires honesty. We must be willing to look in the mirror and confront the parts of ourselves we'd rather keep hidden. This is not an easy task. It takes courage to face our shadows, to acknowledge the ways in which we have hurt others and ourselves. But the rewards of authenticity are immeasurable. When we let go of the need to be perfect, When we embrace our whole selves, flaws and all, we open ourselves up to a level of freedom and joy we never thought possible. This journey is not about becoming someone else. It's about stripping away the masks, the pretenses, the carefully constructed facades, and rediscovering the beauty of our true selves. It's about embracing our imperfections, celebrating our strengths, and living a life that is congruent with our values and beliefs. It's about showing up in the world with courage, vulnerability, and authenticity, knowing that we are enough just as we are.